Alright, so this past weekend we got a brand new Disney Pixar film, and it's a sequel to the 2015 movie Inside Out. What did I think about it? Here's my thoughts. Alright, so before I got to go see the movie yesterday, I had a chance to check out the first film before checking out the new one. And growing up in 2015, I think I was 11 or maybe 10 by the time that the movie came out. Probably 10 if I'm doing the math correctly. Anyhow, I went to go see the movie with my family and then my grandparents, and my grandpa was super confused during the entire movie. Me, I was never a fan of the original movie. Watching it as like a 10-year-old, maybe 11-year-old, depends, I just wasn't, I just didn't get it as much as other people did. I was a kid, you know, I was a kid, so I was too young to understand what it was, and even like rewatching as I turned 12, 13, it just was never for me. I got a chance to rewatch it before I saw the new one, and I actually really liked it. The movie had a way of having constant emotion throughout that genuinely made me shocked. Like, I was with tears in my eyes throughout the entire movie. So it was able to do that. It did have issues. I think that the Joy character was annoying, but this isn't a review of the first movie. Going into this one, I really liked the trailer. I thought that, again, that the first movie was pretty good. I was getting pretty excited to check out this movie. Not only that, but also because it's making bank at the box office. That with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Bad Boys Ride or Die, the box office is going crazy for the summer movie seasons. I think this was like the biggest weekend opening for an animated film of all time. That's crazy. Let that sink in. That's crazy. But did I think that this movie was any good? I want to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think of Inside Out 2? What do you think of the original Inside Out? While you're down there, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the bell so you never miss another video. Emphasis on the subscribe button because we are currently, as of time of filming this, at 172 subscribers. If we can get to 200 by, let's say, the middle of July, I will have a special video coming out for you, my viewers. And with that said, let's get started with why Inside Out 2 is actually fantastic. I went into this movie not thinking that I would love it as much as I did. In fact, out of the 16, I'd say, Pixar movies I've seen them all, but like the ones that I haven't rewatched, ones for my updated ranking in a tier list form coming in the next couple of weeks, just so you guys know. I still have a lot of rewatching to do, but anyways, this is currently, I think, number 3. This is one of 3 movies that I will put in S tier, probably. I love this movie. I thought it was fantastic. And it's a really big surprise because, again, I thought the first movie on rewatch was great, but it did have issues with it that held the movie back. But this movie right here, I just thought was really, really good. And what the thing it was able to do was bring in anxiety. Riley's moving on in life. And so she, just like every single one of us, gets anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and so all those new emotions on top of joy, anger, fear, disgust, sadness, on top of all that, we get this whole variety of emotions that is super relatable to every single human being. We have been in Riley's footsteps before because we have been at that awkward middle school going into high school age. I know I have, and I'm more recent than a lot of like adults because I'm only 18. That literally just happened 4 years ago for me. 4 years ago, I was heading into high school and I started this YouTube channel, which, don't go back and watch my old videos, but you'll even see how I looked back then. So that's when I discovered movies. I don't know where I'm going down this rabbit hole, but the point is, we have all been in Riley's shoes before and experienced these emotions, and so it can be personal to every single one, especially anxiety. The way that this movie presents anxiety, it's fantastic. It is absolutely incredibly good. I was blown away by the way that they represented her, because she's just like this character that's very obviously the villain, a bad person in the story. She's trying to do all these things for Riley, but she's actively kind of ruining relationships with her. And so watching this movie, And my dogs are going absolutely crazy in the background, by the way. There's a mail truck here. They'll shut up in a minute. But anyways, anxiety and the way it's represented is just great. Again, she's a clear villain, but like, you understand why she's doing this. She's an emotion, and seeing those emotions go through Riley again is personal to every single one of us. This film also has some of the most intense scenes in an animated movie I've ever seen. Not because we were scared characters were gonna die or we were holding our breath, but because there's sequences that we've all experienced. Trying to hang out with the cool kids and abandoning our friends. Stuff like that. Choices that we have to make to see what's it going to be like in high school, or what's it's going to be like in continuing on from middle school. And so it's personal, and all of us have experienced that. And so watching certain scenes, you will be sitting there and holding your breath like, ooh. You know what choice she's about to make because anxiety is kicking in, but it's hard to watch because you know every one of us have made that exact same choice along our lives. And so this franchise is very unique and interesting because it's not just Disney Pixar movie. It's important movies about our lives and shows us what we've all experienced before in this kind of unique way. And I really, really like this franchise, especially growing up being 18 years old. I think it's really, really cool because I've experienced this. A lot of things Riley's experienced, I'm done with. And so it's just really, really cool as an adult going back and looking on that. It really ups the experience of this entire movie. And just like even with anxiety, the new emotions, I don't think that the new emotions have as much time to shine. They have their moments, but I don't think they're as good. And then there's obviously our returning emotions. And like I said, as one of my issues with the original Inside Out, as I've mentioned before, I don't think Joy was good in the original Inside Out movie. I think she was just painfully a bad character because of the way she was treating sadness and everyone around her. But I feel like she's better in this movie. Every emotion gets their time to shine. So it has all of that as well for our central characters. Also, this movie is genuinely hilarious. I was dying laughing at numerous scenes. There's this one certain animated kids TV show character that genuinely made me die laughing every time he was on screen. Me and my brother were just absolutely dying. Our theater was packed with little kids. And so, yeah, again, making bank. But anyways, for reference also, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, when I saw it, was packed. But Bad Boys for Life on opening day, I was the only one in the theater. So, or Bad Boys Ride or Die, rather. Anywho, so we were just dying laughing throughout that entire sequence. It was genuinely hilarious, and there were genuinely hilarious moments. And going off that, the animation is brilliant. I love the animation of these Inside Out movies, even going to the first movie where they have these sequences where they have all these different animation styles that they'll just randomly throw in. Within the first Inside Out sequence, the sequence when they're going through the pipe thing and they're like taking all these different shapes, that's a very cool sequence. But in this one, you get random characters from the back of Riley's mind that just have these different and unique animation styles. If you're talking about the animated TV show character, you're getting on about a PlayStation 2 crush that she had. There's so many cool animation styles, and even like the regular animation style, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful looking film. I love the animation in this movie. So not only does this movie represent emotions, especially anxiety, in a perfect way, not only is it personal to every single person that will watch this movie, but it is also just a really, really entertaining time at the movies. The two Inside Out films, like my brother mentioned in the out-of-theater reaction that we did the moment the movie was over, he said they were kind of similar because it's about the people trying to get back to headquarters. Both adventures, I thought the first movie, I thought it was good, but it had parts that dragged. This movie didn't really have parts that dragged. The whole adventure trying to get back was just really entertaining and really, really fun. And so that's just what you go to a movie to be. So little kids who have not had a chance to experience this yet, they will be entertained. Older kids who are going through emotions like anxiety and embarrassment and envy and all of that, they will be into this movie. They will get something more than an entertaining time out of it. Adults, you will be entertained and get it, and probably feel a little bit personal because we have experienced this, and especially if you're an adult with a kid, your kid is going to experience this. And so it's just a movie that I highly recommend to every single person to watch. I loved Inside Out 2. I did have maybe one or two itsy-bitsy reservations. They're really nothing at all. The first one is it's not as emotionally potent as the first movie did. The ending of this movie where she's having a panic attack and with anxiety, I thought that was really, really great. But with the first Inside Out, I was just sad the entire movie. This movie didn't have that. And so maybe it's better for like little kids and older kids to enjoy it a little bit more. For me, I felt kind of like until like the last 20-30 minutes that it was missing a little bit of emotion, and so there's that as well. I know I had one more in the back of my mind, but this movie is just so crazy good, and like I highly recommend it to every single person to go check out this movie in the theater. I just kind of forgot it. I mean, it's so easy to focus on the great of this movie. For a year that have had way more disappointing movies that I just kind of disappointed in, it's pleasant when you get to go see a movie in a theater and you're just buzzing about it for several days later. You're still thinking about the movie. That's how I was with Dune Part 2. That's how I was with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's how I was with Abigail. That's how I am with this movie. It's in my top 5 of the year. I love this movie. And that's why Inside Out 2 is going to get an A+. I highly recommend it for everyone to go check out this movie. It's getting the Zachary Movie Chat stamp of approval. You must go check out this movie. It's fantastic. I am going to have a Pixar tier list coming in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to try to, I think I have 13, maybe less movies that I have to watch. I'm going to try to watch 1 or 2 a day. Like after this, I'm going to go watch Toy Story 3. So there will be a Pixar tier list. My next video will be my most unpopular opinions. And with that said, thank you guys for clicking on this video. And with that said, subscribe, join the Army. Peace out.